Hello, good morning to you. It's, yes, you're right, it's that time. It's 11 o'clock in the morning in Spain, 10 o'clock in the UK. It's Cafe Clairvoyance and it's your morning astrology show. So good morning to you. Hope you're well wherever you are and welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Well, good morning to you. I hope you're well wherever you are in that sunny old world. And this is a picture that was taken yesterday of Javier, the coastline of Javier in Spain. It was absolutely beautiful. And look, it's the beaches are relatively empty, as you can see here. And people are just starting to get out and swim. They've all been very cautious out here. Probably wise. Anyway, good morning to you. And I hope you're well. And of course, I hope you have your coffee with you. I do hope your coffee. Okay, and we've got people coming in all over the world, which is absolutely fabulous. And Kamina says, it's 5 a.m. What time is it there? Over here, it's 2 minutes past 11. Good morning to you. And this is just for you, just to get you up this morning, Kamina. This is a sound just for you. And anybody else who's just woken up, very early hours there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, put the eggs on. Put the eggs on. Get your coffee ready. Put the toast on. That's it. It's time to get up and time to get the day going. But before you get your day going, this is a show you need to watch because it just chills you out. It gives you all the information that's going on up there. Yes, going back there brings us a sense of tranquility, sense of peace, well-being, perhaps. That's it. Already you want to go back to bed, don't you? Thinking, oh, this is so nice. I'll just take a day off. Just lay in bed and just watch this. Yes. Well, you could do that. But anyway, so some of you are probably going back to work. Some of you are finding that life is very different now than what it used to be. But here we are. Here we are. And loads of people say good morning to us here. We've got Liz saying hola. Hola. We've got Joe saying good morning. Just need to get my coffee, says Joe. We've got all the time in the world. All the time here. The producer, Deborah, says hola from Spain. And Kamina's laughing already. So 5 a.m. and already over there in Canada, you're laughing. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So very, very interesting show I think we got on for this morning. And just to give you a sense of peace, well-being, just like the picture out here. So hopefully we can get you guys all relaxed. Now this morning, I'm going to be joined by my wonderful friend and a very gifted astrologer and psychologist, Guillermo. Fabulous, fabulous lady. And always look forward to the Wednesday regular show here where we talk about astrology and all that's going on in the universe and just have a good old chit chat and make people feel you can just relax, just unwind and just be part of the energy in the atmosphere. Before that though, this is what we'd like you guys to do. Can you also go onto YouTube? Ask you on YouTube here, exactly the same, Cafe Clairvoyance, and subscribe to the show at some point. Because these subscriptions help us get more rateable value and we spread our love and our astrology and our spirituality out there wider and wider and wider, and it just makes the show a better place. How's that? Is that okay? Could you do that? Good. So subscribe on YouTube and like and share the page on Facebook so you let people know this show is out there, and it's all free and it's all there to entertain you guys. So anyway, so this is it. This is it. So, as we come further into June, well, we're actually coming towards the end of June, but already gone through halfway through the year. It's crazy, isn't it? Where's the year's gone to? And a very complex, changeable year we had, thinking it was going to start off absolutely ace to base. But a lot of us astrologers and psychics were all saying here, March was going to be a turning point again, but an amazing turning point it was, wasn't it? And I think for some of us, we found this to be a very revealing, rewarding experience. Some people have found it extremely challenging. And even talking to a lot of people here, they found it a very, very lonely time. So what some people loved was that we could put this show on, and that they felt they had a bit of a entourage and feeling that they could chat away with people online here, which is absolutely fabulous. But this is, yes, I can understand a lot of us here have been through very challenging times. But let's have a look and see what's going on ahead here. Let's really see what the week ahead brings. And Liz says she shared it. Thank you, Liz. That's very, very nice of you. Thank you very much indeed. And don't forget, Liz, if you want a reading there, write in with a colour, a question, and your date of birth, and we can, on this show especially, we can give you a little reading there. That'd be wonderful. Rachel McDonald says, hello, Rachel. I hope you're well there. I'm trying to work out what your picture there is. It looks like a duck. Is that? Oh, no. Sorry, that's a lady there. Lady, beg your pardon. You just said a little tiny picture on my screen there. But good morning to you. I hope you're well wherever you are. And right, okay. On no further delay, I think we need to go over to Javier. We need to speak the lady, speaks the language of the stars. She also drinks coffee. She speaks many languages, and she's also just awesome. So this is good morning, Guillermo. How are you?
Good morning, Phil. Good morning, everybody. I'm good. Just enjoying this Mercury retrograde, but if you just take it easy and go with the flow, everything just works out fine.
Okay. Yes, it does. It does. You just got to take it easy. And I think if you fight against it, it tends to be a little bit on the difficult side, doesn't it? Now, Rachel, you sent in your date of birth. You've also sent in your favourite colour, but we need a question. It's very good of you here. Otherwise, we're just like going anywhere. We'll just pick up on something saying, that's not what you want to talk about. Could be something else. We start revealing. Go, no, don't tell people that. But anyway, so Mercury retrograde. So for most people, when we go through Mercury retrogrades, most people here get very stressed. They panic. They think everything's going to go wrong, that flights are going to get delayed, computers are going to go AWOL, and everything's going to go wonky woo.
Yeah, but it's not that. It's not exactly that. So basically, it's like any planets that go retrograde makes you look inward. And right now, there's like most of the planets are retrograde. I think it's Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Mercury. Venus is about to go direct and on Thursday.
Yep.
So like it's normal to have planets going retrograde, especially like during half the year. The outer planets will go retrograde, like half the year, depending on which one. Then we notice more when the closer planets go retrograde, like Mercury, Venus, Mars. That's like more physically noticeable. Mercury, what happens? It has to do with the mind, it has to do with the communication, and mind and communication is our way of living. So we're going to notice it more.
Okay.
But what it's begging is really, it's just for you to, quiet down, be more inward. So if we're going like very much outward and like there's this, I love this expression in Spanish. It's chicken without a head. It's like
Yes.
monkey mind. So
Yes.
when you go like in your monkey mind, then of course what's going to happen is things are going to, the energy is for going slower. So if you're going faster, then everything's going to trip.
Okay.
So for example, like right now, I'm not at home, as you can see. I'm at my office. And so I brought down my computer, but another computer I have, a smaller one, to connect, and then Skype wasn't working on it. Everything was set up, but Skype wasn't working. So then it's okay. We found this like 1 minute to the hour. That's cool, perfect. Okay, so
that's
I'm going to
Mercury
use the tablet,
retrograde.
so I'm going to switch everything around. So I have to put everything over there and then connect this. And it's like totally set everything up in a totally new direction in 2 minutes, basically,
Okay.
and without panicking. So
Yes.
that's a bit of what begs you. It says, okay, it's different, and I got to go slower. So I just have to think outside the box, take it easy, and whatever happens will happen. No pressure. Who cares if like Phil has to entertain for 1 more minute? It will happen in the end. It doesn't really matter. So
Yes.
it's a bit like that
Yes.
attitude. I think it helps.
I think that this we experienced this last night. We were doing a show last night, and typical Mercury retrograde. Not only did everything go a bit wonky woo over here, it also went wonky woo with my guest who I was speaking to, which is Helen Davis of Spread Some Sunshine. Lovely, lovely show. We're talking about a funding organization which helps support people in Sri Lanka who are going through very difficult times. And the poor feed the even poorer. So that's how big the struggle is. But it was a lovely show. We did some little mini live readings with angel cards, things like this. But we dropped the internet here. She dropped the internet over there. And in England, they dropped the internet. And in Spain, the internet dropped. So everything was just like down, up, down, up, down, up. But eventually, we got everything up to stability. And I think Mercury behaved itself and said, all right, then, go on. Let's do it smoothly. Let's for this hour do it smoothly. So far.
But I think it's important that we don't blame anything outward.
Yes.
So it's not. So if you're going against nature, if you're going against the grain, it's normal that you'll feel the friction.
Yes.
And it's all about really going inward and trying to connect with the natural flow of things.
Okay.
So Mercury retrograde will do no harm to you if you are Mercury retrograde, if you're resonating with that frequency. And all you need to do really is just listen to yourself, be more sensitive, be more connected to you.
Yes. It's interesting when we think about going inwards, because sometimes that's a scary thing for a lot of people, isn't it?
What do they think they're going to find?
Yes, exactly. That's the fear.
Because this has a lot to do with the charts we're seeing today. So,
yes.
So what do you think you're going to find when you go in there? What's the worst nightmare? Tell me. I don't know, Phil. Let yourself imagine. What's the worst thing I could find if you just impersonate like a typical person that has nothing to do with inner development, never looked inside, and just be that person for a second? So like, what's the worst that you think I could find inside you?
Something I don't have control of, something I'm not in power with, something that I'm going to feel scares me, or something that's going to make me feel I can't handle this. What do I do?
Okay, so it's like your will overtaken by some strange force or energy or events happening in your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Interesting, because that's very Scorpio. And the truth of the matter, the fact is, that's what happens to people all the time.
Yes.
Because they don't look inside.
Yes.
So when you don't look inside you, that's how you're living your life. You're basically being overtaken by collective influences, and normally by the denser, oldest type of collective influence. The more you really are connected to you, the lighter and newer the energies that you connect to are.
Okay.
So by looking inside, you're not going to see anything new. You're actually going to see what has always been governing your life.
Yep.
Which is that dark energy that overpowers you. So we have this vision of willpower as something that we all own, but it's not true. Most people on this planet do not have willpower. Most people on this planet are guided by collective forces.
Yes.
And as I said, normally when you are fear-based, which is most people that have not gone inside, when you are fear-based, you will be driven by the darkest collective forces. So this is normal. And if you've gone through the eclipse this past weekend, you for sure have felt some of these energies.
Yes.
In some way, like maybe some kind of addiction, some kind of addictive pattern, some kind of huge dependency issue, some type of, I don't know, these emotional turmoils that connect us to our lowest, more addictive or more dependent psychic structure is probably what you have felt. Like many people would have felt this weekend, because that's what was active.
I think it's a very big thing, very, very big thing we are talking about here. And we're opening up, I wouldn't say a can of worms. I think we're opening up great opportunity, enormous opportunity. And I think Kamina says, how do I remind myself to do that? Well, one of the first things I'll say to you, Kamina, is change your breathing. Change your breathing and slow down. Slow down here. And whatever is that you feel is there, and that you feel is inside you, which is creating that difficulty, switch it around. Let's have a look at it here. That's for instance, a color therapy course I've got coming up here. One of the things I say here, whatever's inside you think is going to be awful, or we actually, this is a great word. I love this word here, because this is how we work with this, is we assume. We have assumptions that something going on inside of us that we don't want to deal with is horrendously bad. And when in fact it can be amazingly brilliant. We just need to tap into it. But because we think it's huge It's not. It's the emotion that's related to it that's huge. It's not the concern. And sometimes it could be here. We've had a partner in the past who says here, you're no good at doing this. Why are you doing this for? Why are you doing this for? Green doesn't suit you. Why are you wearing green all the time? And we take on board all this crap. Take up all this crap from people until you learn that actually, hang on, that's all external stuff. It doesn't belong to me. So, Camina, one of the things I say to you here, I would absolutely almost guarantee to 99%, a lot of things you worry about or concerned about are not yours. Nothing to do with you. Absolutely.
Literally, the thing is, so you do have every single one of us. I've practically seen no exception, has very, very dark things inside. But the thing is, those dark things inside is just the resonance from traumas and collective traumas and ancestral traumas that we all carry in our bodies.
Yes.
And when those traumas get triggered, our emotions get out of control. So you start feeling lots of very intense things, which doesn't mean that that is happening to you. I don't know, for example, you might get really frustrated by something that's not so important, or suddenly your fear gets triggered and nothing really happened. Like, this is very normal. And
Yes.
all those emotions correspond to ancestral trauma, not
Yes.
to your actual daily life. The thing is, if you actually look into it, what was before a trauma, and it was a trauma that actually made you engage with other people in a codependent fashion so as to be able to project those energies on somebody else and blame somebody else for it. So actually keeping that inside and not looking at it is making us have very crappy relationships based on codependency and very low energies. Whereas if you actually look into that, that becomes your gold. It becomes your talent because you're integrated, you're accepting it. And behind that ancestral trauma is also a lot of knowledge that our ancestors developed, and it's there for you if you just tap into it. If you understand that we can feel very intensely with nothing falling apart around us, and that's the key to life. The more sensitive you become, the sooner you feel the intensity of the emotions that are hidden from inside your body from those ancestors, the quicker you're able to release it with nothing happening around you, with nothing falling apart. And the more you flow in life, and the easier life gets, and the more you connect to the magic of life.
Oh, amazing. Yes, absolutely amazing. I think the magic of life and the magic is in the fears or the phobias or the things that sometimes scare you is where the magic is. And the thing here is we have this wonderful thing where we live in our heads and it goes around our heads. And before we know it, that we're turning something amazing into something very negative. We could turn that around and actually use that to something incredible. Now, it's interesting you say here about people going through changes at this present time with the eclipse. And I found this already, even with myself. And one of the things I realized was here is that I was feeling crap eating bread. So today, and the past week, I've stopped eating bread. And already I feel fantastic. It's letting go of wheat. It's letting go of wheat and letting go of gluten.
It's very interesting that you speak about gluten, and I'll add here dairy products as milk, because since what's really being questioned is something that began in the beginning of the year, which is the way we relate to each other and to the past via this codependent dynamic. So instead of me feeling the emotions that are trapped in my body from the past, I put it onto somebody else and try to get make somebody else responsible for dealing with that, which brings that codependency, and which basically is the base for our daddy and mommy issues. So bread and dairy products, as you know, is a very common allergy. There are many people that are intolerant or allergic to bread and dairy, and it doesn't suit them very well. So what does that mean, bread and dairy? So bread is it's the father figure. So if bread doesn't suit you, it means the relationship with your father was not a good relationship, in the sense that you would have expected maybe more substance, or maybe more bringing together, and what you had was the opposite. It was a father who actually made the family go apart. So that could be, for example, behind. So let's say that the father figure inside your mind did not meet up to the expectations you had of bringing people together. Hence the daddy issue. So it's hence the gluten intolerance or the gluten allergies, and the same thing with the milk. So if you have a milk intolerance, it has to do with the mother.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't tolerate milk, or if you just tolerate some sorts of dairy products, there's an issue with you. Your mom didn't meet your expectations. So
Yeah.
the thing is that we can heal that inside us by healing the archetype, by nourishing ourselves.
Yes.
So if you give yourself the proteins or the support, the building blocks, psychological building blocks, emotional building blocks that you need, you don't need to be intolerant to milk. If you give yourself the
Yes.
cohesion that you need, you don't need to be intolerant to gluten.
I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more. I think it's amazing. I always wonder the conversations we're both going to step into as we start off a show, but it's always something that we could just go with, and I think it's fantastic. And it's interesting as well because Cancer, the sign of Cancer, we just had eclipse in, very much a sign of water and emotions and home, family, mother,
And
the
cohesion.
cohesion. Yes, bringing that unity together, and sometimes.
And all the Capricorn energy, the father
Yes.
figures there too.
Yes, yeah, very much so. Very much so. And the transitional change that we're going through at the moment, and the planetary energy this week is really going to start moving us on and changing us in a different direction. But of all the fears, I mean, Ivy, you written in and said, talking about things that scares us, in brackets, water, I choke when I stand before water and I don't even know how to overcome this fear. Very, very interesting. And I think that's an amazing one to talk about with you at some point.
It could be something so simple as when you were born, Ivy, maybe like you know how babies, how the water breaks and then the way the babies start breathing air. So maybe somewhere in that process of the birth canal of being born, you probably choked on something, or maybe it to me it resonates a lot to the moment of birth. So maybe there was some issue at the moment of birth, like not the right timing,
Could
like
be.
maybe you were like the baby. Normally the baby is the one that chooses when to be born, but then oftentimes the doctor, like there's a cesarean, how do you say,
It's a cesarean section,
cesarean section.
or as we call it, the sunroof.
Yeah. Oh God. So yeah, so like if you were brought out of your rhythm since the moment of birth, that's very significant. Also, this is very much a subject. I would say with these energy, it's all about the rhythm, because we've been living in a patriarchal system. Everybody has been just whacked out of their rhythm, like
Yes.
big time.
Yes.
You were supposed to be fed when the doctor said, not when the baby wanted. You were supposed to be born when the doctor decided, not when the baby decided. So we've been totally whacked out of our rhythm. And because of that, we can't regulate our bodies for the different phases of the day and of life. So you just don't trust yourself because you've never actually followed your rhythm. So sometimes we need to be nice and quiet and calm, and then we need time to wake up, and we need time to start moving, and we need time to engage with the world. But when you haven't been when your rhythms haven't been respected since the moment of your birth, then you can be in your most vulnerable part and be pushed out into the world. And it's like, oh my God, how do I deal with the world when I've been pushed out in the wrong time? Well, I just dissociate. I go into my mind, so I'm not in me. So I'm going to always feel fearful and vulnerable. So it's about really, instead of demanding mom and dad and to take care of you, and instead of expecting gluten and milk to be okay, or just having a fight with gluten and milk, it's about just really connecting with you and your rhythms. It's realizing that we have to decide what we need each moment for ourselves. When you need to rest, you rest. When you need to go, you go. And you have all the right in the world to say, sorry guys, I know we're going to meet tonight, but I can't. I'm really tired. And that's it.
Yeah, Oh, it's amazing. That's one explanation. There are probably loads here. Priscilla says, the moment of birth, that's interesting. Perhaps you could ask her mum what the birth was like. And one of the things I would like to say here is just come back to this as well. Just to quickly bring this back in. There it is. There also, was there a time in your life where you nearly drowned? That could also be a little bit of explanation here. There's also here, if there's nothing you can relate to, no, your mother says, no, can't remember, think of anything, no recorded information, birth was absolutely fine, maybe whatever it is like this, then there may be something that doesn't relate to this particular life. It could relate to a past life. But to help you, Ivy, to go, and anybody dealing with a fear or a phobia at this present time, what I'd like you to do, and like for instance, say for instance, you're going to walk up to a river, say for instance, going to walk up to something that wakes this fear, is before you even get there, I'd like you to change your breathing. Change your breathing, slow it right down. Slow it right down.
Go into your rhythm.
Go into your rhythm, because there's three things that would stir up stress and anxiety, and one of them is an increased breathing rate. We start to panic more, we start to breathe faster, start to do this. But when you bring your breathing down, you can't go into that state. You can't go into it. And also, at that particular time, working with this perhaps, think of a lovely colour that makes you feel very secure. Really secure. Lovely colour. Maybe it's a blue, maybe it's a pink, whatever it is. But even just thinking about that particular fear right now, it's just breathing in that colour that makes you feel secure. So even if the water is in front of you, what's the stronger element here is the peace and calmness you're breathing in. That lovely colour and the feeling of peace.
And look, Joe Gardner says, yes, my son had emergency C-section. I had forceps. I'm afraid of water. I can swim because I cannot swim because of this fear. So
yes.
And even if it does come from a past life, it's always going to have echoes in this life.
Yes, always will do. So, yes.
So it doesn't matter if it's past life, if it's family transgenerational issues and traumas. It's just stories and patterns that trickle down generation after generation, and that we have in our bodies and we're not aware of. So we think emotions, like before, emotions were totally disregarded, and now they're overvalued. And emotions are just echoes of the past. And until we let that past go, we're not going to really be in ourselves and living higher emotions like peace, love, joy, which is really our destiny.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Good morning to everybody who's joined us. This is Cafe Clairvoyance. If you've never seen the show before, welcome. Welcome. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Cafe Clairvoyance both shows. Please subscribe to YouTube, and please like and share our page on Facebook. It gets us out there, gets our ratings up. We can put more into the shows here. We're on several times a week. All the details are on the Facebook page. And this morning is the astrology show with my good friend Guillermo here. And we're talking astrology, we're talking spirituality, and we're also talking about what's going on up there, these fears, these phobias. We never know what we're going to talk about as we start these shows, but it's always something we can really get into here. And Ivy says, thank you so much. So just nice, deep, calm breathing, and just, but if you wanted to talk about that a little bit more, then by all means after the show, get hold of us through Messenger, and we can arrange a chit chat. How's that? Deborah says, very true. Good. Okay, it's getting that time of day. And I'm just wondering what, I just heard all the messages come through. Yep, here comes all the messages coming through with all the reading stuff. Thank you very much. I've just heard, oh my goodness, here comes the producer. She's reacting to this. Wow. She's a fast runner, I'll tell you. She's such a fast runner. She really is. And so... Oh dear. So there we go. Just putting a bit of suspense to it. And what's happening now? We're going to start to come into doing the live part of the show where we start doing your readings here. But just this is just for you guys, just for joining us this morning. And if you've got a cup of coffee here, this is just for you guys. We've got a little hoot, and I think it's coming on to that time of day where we're going to start now doing those readings there. And I think yes, 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 I can see it's all ready. It's all about to happen, and let's see if everything's ready. Yep, yep, yep. All the readings are in. Thank you very, very much. We've got those now. First of all, here, let's start off with Adam. Adam. Now, Adam, thank you very much for writing in. For anybody here who would like a reading on the show, what we ask you to do to get you at the top of the list, so to speak, is to send in... Julia Wilson says she's making a cup of coffee. That's good. And let's just get Adam up here. Yeah, if you'd like a reading on the show, all you need to do is to write in with your date of birth, write in with a favourite colour, and also a question, and then we will do that. How's that? How's that? And everyone's off making a cup of coffee. Okay, right. In the meantime, Adam here, you're quite an interesting character here because your date of birth adds up to 11/2. You've got the colour green. Green to me here, Adam, is looking at a sense of new beginnings, a sense of healing, and a sense of awakening from yourself. And it's stepping out here. And sometimes here, the energy of this year has brought you to stop where you are, carrying the old baggage of the past, and refreshing yourself and stepping into something new. And sometimes here, I think what's actually due with your energy here, because you're quite a unique character here, sometimes I think you stood into something new without you actually realising it. And your life awakens, all of a sudden it goes, oh, it's all a bit different. But it's, I think if we're to see this on paper, say a year ago or so, and you're looking at about the changes you're going to go through, you'll probably say here, oh my goodness, this may be a little bit challenging or a bit daunting. But actually, no, you seem to be going through a process. And your question is, what is my life purpose? Well, in one sense here, you're the teacher. In one sense, you're the teacher to people. You're the healer, the teacher to people. So people get knowledge from you. I think here that sometimes what you're awakening to do, especially this year, is to get in your own power. And with your own power there is to find this energy which brings out your purpose and this teaching element. I mean, Guillemar here is just saying, yep. It's like I've taken all the words away from Guillemar. So Guillemar's just going to say, that's it. Forget it. You said it all. Move on. Anyway, so here's your card this morning is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a lovely, lovely tarot card because it very much relates to the teacher, the learning, the psychic, the inner communication within ourselves to understand here that our way forwards has a feminine aspect to it, but it's also in tune with that feminine side there to help bring us out this strength, this wonderfulness. So hopefully, Adam, on that part, that helps. And yes, but your question here is, what is my purpose in life? I think you're leading it now. I think you're getting into it now. Now, I'm going to go up to Guillemar, and she's going to say, well, you said it all.
Yeah. I mean, virtually, you said it all. So, yeah, it's like Adam is a Pisces, but he's a moon in Scorpio, Pluto moon in Scorpio.
Oh.
Lilith is with Cancer and moon and Pluto. So there's a lot of emotional background there. This is the theme for the 3 charts, especially Joe and Adam. And so that's why I was talking before about emotions and what we feel and what we're scared of. And that's why I asked you the question before of like, just imagine what could you find that would be so scary. So Adam is, let's say, full of it. And sorry, Adam. So you're full of all these emotional information in your body. So instead of being afraid or scared, all you need to do is understand more about cellular memories, about how information from the past, stories from the past, can reverberate through your body. And through that, you can, as Phil was saying, be a teacher, a writer, a communicator, give information that would help heal people or help people go forward and take initiative and find their own value. You know, North Node is in Aries. There's Chiron in Gemini, which talks also about the writer. There's a Mercury Jupiter, which is good for communicating words. Chiron Venus, it's about finding your own true value and teaching that to other people. There's Saturn Venus, Saturn Chiron also. There's a lot about this archetype of finding who you really are and being truly you and independently you, free from that karmic past, which is nothing that you did wrong, which is just information that is in your body. So you can actually just be able to have that information for you and for others.
Okay. Okay, I think it's a big thing here, and I think with Adam, I think that doing a show like this, I think in the past here he may have been a bit of a skeptic, but I always get the feeling here that he's turning around on this and going, oh, there is something out there. There is something out here. Money, learning, teaching. You're going to be doing a lot of this.
Yeah,
Uh,
and Adam, you need a lot of like have your own space and your own beautiful creative space because of that Lilith moon. If you want, you can send me. I put a comment on the chat here, so my name is there, Guiomar. You can send me a message, and I can send you an article. It's in Spanish, but it should hope I hope it should translate pretty well on Lilith. So I can send you the Lilith Cancer, Lilith Pluto, so you understand more what cellular memories and emotions are about. I also have some stuff on cellular memories in English, by the way.
okay. That's good. That's good. Brilliant. 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 Your main thing here is I totally agree with you about freedom and the need to explore, have fun. And I think otherwise we get weighed down by emotion, we get weighed down by difficulty and this energy which makes us feel so serious and so heavy. Yes, so I think that's quite a big thing here. Right. Loads of people coming through. So had such bad luck in last 5 years. Need good vibes. Need good vibes. When you're on the right show to get good vibes, but also here to help. So Rachel, if you would like to, whether we can do it on this show, I don't know if we can. I may have time this morning. If not, we'll do it on the next week's show. Is send in your date of birth, a question and something there for you. So that would be great. But I think you did something a little earlier on. So anyway, right. Okay, let's go and say hello to Kerry. Hello, good morning, Kerry. How are you? Hope you're well out there. And let's have a little look here. So we've got, this is a colour yellow. We've got the colour yellow here. And we are a 11-2. Level 2, so many 11-2s. So much energy here for the healers. So much energy here for the lovely people who got here. And
Phil, did you say Carrie or Kimmy?
I think we'll say. I think it was maybe it's Kimmy.
Okay.
Maybe it's Kimmy. Okay, let's go with Kimmy. Kimmy or Kerry? Kimmy, you just be called Kerry. Kerry, you just be called Kimmy.
Because there's a Carrie up here, but no, that's Kim.
I've got that's what I got here. I've got those ones at the moment. So
Okay.
no, that's all right. That's all right. We'll carry on. So have you got 1412? 1412 as a date?
Yes.
Yes, that's one.
Yes.
Good. We're all in the same language. All the same language here. Right. Okay. So
Mercury.
yeah. Okay. Kimmy. Here we go. Kimmy. There we go. Kimmy. Brilliant. What will the next 6 months bring? Well, Kimmy, you've got a very good colour here, very good colour yellow. Your card here is a very powerful one, actually. It's the Empress. The Empress I absolutely love because it's tapping into the feminine energy, but it's bringing out your absolute strength. Now, your area here is a solar plexus. The solar plexus here with you, which is what I pick up here. And that is a lot to do with the communication around you and speaking your thoughts, speaking your feelings. You know, those times of life I think, I don't say this and I don't say that because I'll just upset people, or maybe I should just keep quiet. Well, these are times around you now. Kimmy, I would say here, maybe that's not such a good idea, that maybe we need to do something else. But hopefully that's what's you'd understand is that this is about powerful beginnings of your life here, but taking back your power. So the next 6 months for you, I really think is about resonating in power, resonating a strength around you, and also looking at this. There's just look at this here. Very much about letting go of the past. And sometimes here, Kimmy, although relationships may not have been particularly easy, don't be scared sometimes if something comes to an end, let go of it. Let go of it and move on. Rather than trying to feel like, oh no, I've got to hold on to this. Maybe it's me that's the bad one, or maybe me that's not making it right. And so that's something which I think is pretty powerful around you. And Kimmy, I'd say here, by your energy, by these lovely cards here, just keep going forwards, but talk. It's talking your language. It's talking your expressions, talking those emotions. And let's go over to Guillermo. Guillermo looks very serious there. A very serious look in your eyes.
Kimmy has 6 planets in Sagittarius.
We're looking forwards.
Too much. The problem is, and Chiron in Taurus. So it's like, bring it down, ground it. It's too much. It's just going, and then 6 planets in Sagittarius, and then an excruciating Saturn Pluto almost conjunct, not conjunct, but almost but Pluto is conjunct to Venus in a Scorpio. So yeah, that's the heavy traumatic memories. And there's Lilith is with Scorpio too. So it's like a lot of stuff going inside your body, which is very difficult to negotiate. I mean, in general, if you look at the aspects of the chart, it's light because there's a lot of blue aspects, very little red aspects, and no green aspects. Oh, there's one green aspect, but so it's lighter in that sense. But there's a lot of turmoil going around in the body. So it's all about if we don't ground that Sagittarius can be like a balloon going up in the air, and it's like all the time like that, and it just won't stop. And if you don't stop, what happens is when time comes to integrate something, you're gonna crash. So what you want to do is like bring it down to your body, and bring it down through writing. Also, there's a North Node in Gemini, so that should help. And it's all about writing anything that comes into your mind with all that Sagittarius energy. It's just like whatever comes into your mind, write it, bring it down, express it through the body if you can, and be open to express it with Lilith and Aquarius to many different people without even worrying about what other people are thinking about you.
Absolutely.
Because the more you open up to people, the quicker you'll burn karmic relationship patterns, which is what you really want to do. There's a lot of karmic relationships patterns, so just burn them through, doing something that can, like some kind of expression through the body, through writing, just make it go through you, basically.
Okay, fantastic. I think it's very much a big thing here is about that expression, being able to talk, being able to get your language out there. And I think, as you're saying here, I think grounding is a very big thing. And I think here, but you're very high resonating energy, and sometimes energies go so high, we need people around us who make us feel, bring us down to that feeling of being more in touch with ourselves. Yes. Okay, looking at your cards here, let's have a look at your cards and see what you've got here. And right, yes, let's go for this one. I'm going to feel drawn to this one here, this part here. And let's have a little look. Your cards, yes, patience, peace. The need to, it's like you're searching for something, but you don't know what you're searching for. It's like, I've got to go out there and search. Well, what are you searching for? And yes, because the energies here is like you are out there, but we're not grounding ourselves, as you say here, to find out what it is, what the purpose is. And we're going to external rather than internal. And I think we need to find that inner peace with ourselves. And I can imagine, Kimmy, you're quite a live wire here, and probably socially travel-wise and all this sort of energy, and your thoughts being out there must be amazing. But yes, no, wish you well. Any thoughts, any comments there? Please just write back in. That'd be great. Now, let's go and have a little look.
Yeah, I would say to Gary Kimmy, one last thing, which is it's not so much about searching, it's about that which is out there coming into you. So you just have to channel it through. Just do the movement, do something that moves, like writing, like dancing, like moving, that just helps bring that down, and then communicate that to others.
Sagittarians are normally pretty good at that anyway, when it comes to moving and bobbing around everywhere. Right, okay. Normally great sports people. Anyway, right, let's go to Joe. Hello, good morning to you, Joe. Good morning. I hope you're well, wherever you are in the sunny world. In fact, I think you're in Bedfordshire somewhere. And right, Joe has written in. She says here that she was scared, very scared of having a lot of feelings, feeling very defensive, unsure where she's at. Her emotions are very high and not too sure what to do. And she says that she's feeling these barriers are up and that she's feeling a little bit emotional at the moment. Okay, I'm sorry you're feeling like that. Let's change this around. Let's change this around a little bit here. Okay, right. Now, if I look at this here, we've also got another reading coming through from Camina. Camina, if you can see that one there. See that one there, Guillermo? Camina's just come through. So I'll talk about her in a minute whilst you're sorting out this chart there. But Joe, what I say here is it's hi, yes, she says. Hi, yes. Hi, yes. Hi. Yes. Anyway, so your energies here are very interesting because you can sort of resonate very, very high on energy and frequency that sometimes other people just wonder where you're at here. But that's their problem, not yours. Your energy here is very much of understanding other people, but it doesn't mean to say you have to resonate on the same energy as them. What we're doing here is because you're a 33, the 33 numbers with you make you hypersensitive to emotions and energy out there. Now, have you thought of this? This is an interesting thing I'll say to you, Joe. Have you thought of creating an energy inside of you that you would really resonate to, something that you would really like, and throw it out there? Throw it out there. So much as we're getting, oh, I'm feeling a lot of emotion, I'm feeling a lot of difficulty here or struggle, whatever it is here. What about if, say for instance, you're going into a coffee shop somewhere, and you before you go into the coffee shop, you send out a positive vibe before you go into that coffee shop. So you go in there and already it's generated something nice and calm. Have you thought about, because your numbers here being a 33-6 says that you've got the energy to do that? Yes. So if you were to generate, and that's interesting to anybody here, if you wanted to generate positivity, it's a bit like, for instance, you're driving your car, you're going down to the town centre, you think, I've got to find a parking space. But you actually think in your mind here, there's a parking space right in the place I need it to be. And you generate that thought. You generate it and generate it so much so that as you're driving down there, that space becomes available. And I've done this loads of times, and I know loads of other people have done it, and it works. And exactly the same with you, Joe, is don't be vulnerable to this. Take the power on this and actually say, I'm going to come above it. And I'm going to generate a positive vibe and throw it out there and see what the response is, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And yes, so hopefully that helps out you. Let's bob over. That's a good word. Is that a good energy word? Bob over.
Did you say bob over?
Yes, bob over to
like bobbing for apples.
Yeah, bobbing for apples. This we're going to bob over to is.
Okay, so Joe, like Adam, has a lot of Scorpio energy. In this case, she has Sun, Mercury, Pluto, and Venus in Scorpio, which, as I said before, this is why we started the show this way, because it seems to be the theme of the day, very Scorpio. Yes. I love Scorpio. It's my rising sign. It's a difficult sign to understand, but once you understand it, it makes so much sense. It's so easy.
Yes.
It's intense. It's very energetic, but it's easy. So yeah, I totally agree with what Phil said. You have a North Node in Aries, which is like independence. Get out of your mind and just do what you want and don't even think about it. Also, Lilith is in Gemini and opposing Neptune. So the Lilith Neptune says, just do what you want and don't think about it. The less you think about what you do, the easier it is. Also, Lilith Gemini says your mind is actually free, but you don't know it because your mind picks up what everybody else is thinking and even their mental structures. So you become other people's mind. Mm-hmm. It's important that you come down from the mind and understand that the way you think and feel and see life is totally different than what other people feel and see. You have a moon in Taurus, which is inviting you to connect with your body, to come down, and that's going to also help you take away, it's opposed to your sun in Scorpio, take some energy away from all that Scorpio, dark Scorpio energy, to balance it out. I mean,
that's what Star Wars is.
But Scorpio is a beautiful sign when you realize that if you learn how to be in you totally with this energy, you're actually going to activate the talents that are inherent in Scorpio.
Now, what's interesting here is Joe's written in and said, cool, I understand. Yes, I am a moderator on Banter Group and give a lot of positive feedback to group members. That's absolutely fabulous. And that sounds like you, Joe. You're resonating in the way you want to do that. Moon in Taurus as well. If you've got the Moon in Taurus there, I'd say as well, anything you would like to do in gardening or having flowers in your house or green things or things that grow out of soil, great, do so there. And I think that'd be marvellous. I used to love growing garlic in the house, but everyone hated it, so I had to give it up. Never mind.
It's important when you have so much Scorpio energy to not just freely give all your energy away, because when you have Scorpio, there's a lot of energy going inside you, and it's just too much to hold. Yeah. So it's very easy for us to just give it away. So the key is to just learn how to hold that energy, doing a lot of body work. And then just understand that it's about connecting from my highest self to your highest self. So if I have my needs fulfilled, which that moon in Taurus also invites you to do, then I'm able to know what I need at each moment, and I'm resonating from my highest self. And from here, I'm activating your talents. And I don't even have to say or do anything. It just happens.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely. I think it's a lovely thing there. So, Joe, thank you very much. Hope it helped you out this morning. But totally, totally resonate on your energy there. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Resonate on yours, and it will soon change. And everyone will say, "Hey, Joe, you're such a cool dude. There's something about you." Yes, there is. There is. Anyway, let's go over and have a little chat with Carmina. Good morning, Carmina, and you sent in your details there. It's you are 1511 Question is money. Now, interesting here. Just had a look at your numbers here, and it's interesting you talk about money because in numerology you're a number 8, and yes. Right. Okay. I'm just going to come on to something in a minute. A really interesting message just come in, but I'm just going to do a Camino first of all. Something really fascinating here. I need to talk to this lady. Right. Okay. So Emerald. Emerald is your color. You're a number 8 in numerology, which is interesting. We talk about money because that relates to money enormously. You're a 178. So it's interesting here where we're going. The one here is about building something which is for you. Which is for you, Camina. It has to resonate something in you. Your heart number on this, your heart number is number 7, and that resonates here to do with something very spiritual, but also something which you do for yourself. Something that has to resonate something very peaceful, very loving, very giving, but also it brings into balance your life, what you're doing. In the Chinese numerology, they often put the 8 on the side, so it's the symbol of infinity. And sometimes we have to take the cycles of life where we go, Camina, because sometimes the cycle is on the way up, then it comes down, but then it goes up again, then it goes down, it comes up again. And we have to fluctuate and know how to understand, how to resonate with energies in different ways. Now, one of the other things I'd say here too is money, I would say, just picking up psychically here from the energy I'm picking up around you. Would you understand here that you've got something that you're about to build on next month of July? I'm picking up something about next month of July, and I would like to say here too that I don't think you're going to have a big problem as you go through the year where money is concerned. I think it's something you're going to start building on yourself, and I think here you're going to find this is very interesting. This is absolutely, I think you're going to turn your life around a great deal, and I think that's something special there. So right, yes. Yes, and that's what I would say here, just by this so forth. The emerald color here is angelic. So angelic, wanting to connect with something extremely spiritual. And there is now it's interesting here because I get almost get like a father figure and a grandfather figure in the spirit world here, which are very much looking down on you. And also here, I also get another energy as well, which says here that there's something connected with the sea. Something connected with the sea with you, even if it's to do with ancestry. I really got the big waves, the sea, and I'm picking up something very beautiful here. So let's see where we go. Right, I'm gonna. We've done Bob. Let's go and have a little Mick over with. Let's change the language around. Yes, let's go and have a say hello to Guillermo and see what you want to say about Camina.
Yeah, so as you see, this is a theme. Camina's the sun in Scorpio and 4 planets in Sagittarius.
Oh wow! Isn't that amazing? Is that amazing? We're on the theme again, aren't we?
Yeah, it's basically it's the theme. So with all that Scorpio Sagittarius energy, the abilities of the mind to be able to reach further realms, it's there, no?
Yes.
So Carmina has this moon in Libra. So I'm going to just add a bit about Libra instead of adding, basically you said it all. So I'm just going to add a bit about the Libra thing. So I find Libra a fascinating sign because it's very different to what I've read in the textbooks, right? What I'm discovering has nothing to do with what I read in the textbooks. So normally Libras are like sun, moon, rising, very amicable people, very nice, loving. They're pretty, they're beautiful, they're charming, they're soft, and all that stuff. It's just wonderful to have a Libra around because they're so nice. But if you really, if have you ever gone into a Libra's mind, Phil? Have you?
I have
It's
got a Libra moon. Yes. Well, I'm.
there you go. There you go. This
I'm
just
always.
totally
I'm
proves
always
my
trying to
point.
find trying to make see the battle in things and to look for the peace in things. So yes, there's always a war going on somewhere to find.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the war is going on inside Libra's mind. So Libra is like all the time having this battle with somebody speaking inside their head. And it's like, yes, no, God, what do you think? So this battle engaged in their mind. So when they come out into the world, when they look, they're just like, I don't want to bring this out into the world. It's like, hi, how are you? So I'm suppressing this turmoil, this internal dialogues. But really, what happens is that the Libra moon is the psychic moon, or the moon, sun, or rising. I find it's the same. It's psychic.
Yes.
It's psychic. So when
Very.
you have Libra moon, sun, or rising, you're psychic. The thing inside your mind is the guide. It's the thing is you're not used to listening to it, so you first think it's a dangerous thing. So you engage into this battle with it, but it's not. So it's absolutely key to come to terms with that internal dialogue, to actually, instead of fighting with that internal dialogue, start talking to it, because it's a part of you that wants to bring new information in. It's a psychic part of you. So if you start engaging, and Phil, you can add this to your mediumship class, to
Thank you very.
start facing your internal dialogue in a
Yes.
different way, being more amicable, having a conversation. What is it that you want? Why are you angry? Why are you always telling me off? You know, what are you, what's worrying you? What fears do you have? And we're in this right now. There's going to be a rising of the masculine, the divine masculine, with Mars coming into Aries at the end of the month. So what's going to keep the divine, or what's going to not allow the divine rise, the divine masculine to rise, is the fears of the feminine.
Yes.
So we want to like let go of those fears. And how can we do that? Just having a conversation with them. So I really urge you to have this conversation to that devil inside your head, to ask him, you know, what is it? What do you want? What's going on with you? What are your fears? What are your issues? Because that's going to calm this guy down, and that's going to allow your psychic ability to open up.
It's interesting saying that. It took a long time for me to understand what it was because I wasn't brought up in a world around me where it was acceptable to be psychic, spiritual, or to be a medium or anything like this. It was something that was stepped upon a later part of my life, and as soon as I understood that, that was it. That was something very interesting. And now sometimes I even take the dog for a walk, and I speak. I just go around talking to myself, not talking to myself quietly, but actually talking to the woods, the trees, everything like that. But it often helps me a great deal because then I get the feelings of the spirit and the energy and the connected psychic connectivity, especially in nature. That everything starts coming back and it's beautiful, just like being in a bath as well, bath or shower.
Exactly. And what's going to happen is once your internal dialogue is in peace, the people outside you will reflect the peace too.
Yes.
So, and this is the funny thing, because Deborah is a Capricorn like you, a Libra moon like you. She just wrote it down.
Yes.
Different sign, right?
Yep.
So this is funny because you guys, you're able to partner and do the same work in different, because she's in the background carrying all the logistics. So you're both doing the same thing, facing, like, figuratively facing one another, and you've got the same energies. So
Yes.
who's the psychic, right? So
Yes.
this is the beauty of the duality of the Libra archetype.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm actually saying to the producer that maybe she ought to come on and do some parts of the show with herself here. You're nodding away here, and she's going, "Not yet." I'm saying soon, soon. She's saying,
But
"Not
she
yet."
is, because her energy is in this combo.
Yes,
Her energy
yes,
is in the combo, so she's contributing into it. So it's really, if we understand further than both Capricorns with Libra moon, exactly. If we understand further than our 3D mind, we start seeing this play of energies between people, and there's a whole different story coming out.
Oh,
And
I totally agree. Yeah.
and as I say, if you're a Libra rising moon or sun, really start trying to contemplate this entire internal dialogue in this fashion. You'll find a whole different world.
And another thing I'd add into this as well, because this is something that I worked on to discover myself here, is you can have this internal dialogue and you get like I wouldn't call it the negative, but you get like the, not even a pessimistic, but the energy which is, there's a one which is talking it down and one which is talking it up. Follow the one which is talking it up, because this one down here can be the driver. And I always think here, and I think what's a really important thing with this, really important thing with anybody going through a life here, if you've got a goal that you want to go towards, but you've got fear, I'd say fantastic, brilliant to have fear, because turn that fear to be your driver towards your goal. We need an emotion like fear. If we're too confident, we'll be like a balloon that's just let off at a party.
And the thing is, fear isn't really fear, because it's just an energy going through your body.
Yes.
But we've named it fear, and by naming it fear, that taps it to a collective morphic field that makes us think that something is wrong is going to happen. But if we retag the emotion, understanding it's an energy, and instead of fear is a propulsion energy, for example, then it accompanies the other dialogue.
Absolutely. You need the two opposites. You do need the two opposites. A lot of people think here, oh, no, I listen too much to fear and I won't go for the goal, then regret it their lives. But actually, it's good to go and push it forwards. And I think it's the producers coming out more and more here saying, I am a Capricorn with Scorpio rising, a Libra moon, and wondering, where next? Where next?
I am a Capricorn with Scorpio rising. So you see the play between the three of us. It's kind of strange, huh?
Uh-huh.
My moon is in Capricorn too, though.
Your moon is in Capricorn too.
But it's with Venus.
It's with Venus. Okay.
Venus rules Libra.
Venus rules Libra, and the love of fine cuisine and fine food. Yes. Okay, so this has been absolutely fantastic. This is always such an engaging show, and it's like we get going, and all of a sudden we come towards the end. But a few people have left us. We've still got over 12 people interacting on the show at the moment. But I think it's been absolutely fascinating here, and I think if there's a way ahead that we could look at here to help people to go forwards here. What would be your guidance for this week to help people go forwards? What would be the thing that would help you?
You're asking me. Sorry, I was reading.
Yeah. You carry on. You're just you're off somewhere else. I know you're reading Cosmopolitan or something like that now, aren't you?
I was reading the comments on the. It's very important to be in your own energy. I mean, it always is, but it's like really, really relevant now because of this divine masculine surging. And so it's very easy to get carried away by old fears. Don't take them seriously. They have to come up. You have to feel them, and you have to let them go. It's just phases. It's just emotions. Understand how you might have been addicted to them before, but just will them out of your life. Just say, okay, I understand it. I accept it. This is how it's been up until now. This is really what I don't want anymore. I want to create a relationship from a different place, from my rhythm, from my center. So it's all about your pace, your rhythm, your center, taking it slowly. Don't hurry. Don't rush. There's time. The energies right now are about going slow. Really find that pace of yours, and don't worry. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen in 6 months. So you have loads of time to really figure yourself out. It's not time to figure anything out right now. Okay.
I think it's yes, I agree with you. It's going with something within yourself that takes you the right direction. Even if you go into the woods and talk to yourself, but listen what you get back. This is what you get back. But take the high road on this. Don't take the, oh, you're doing that wrong, this wrong. No, that's just ego. That's negative ego. We take the higher one here, and you're on your right path here. Now, I know we come to the end here, sort of, but Julia Wilson says, I'm a Capricorn, but no idea where my moon's, etc. Well, what we'll do, if you write in your date of birth for next show, which is coming on next Wednesday, 11 o'clock in Spain, 10 o'clock in the UK, you write in a question there, perhaps, and then we'll also tell you where your moon is. And
but also you can also go into there's some sites like.
You don't want people to do that. You want to come onto the show. Hush now. Hush now. Hush now.
She wants to find out now.
Hush now. No. Find it on the show here. We do this. Hush now. What are you doing? Sending people away somewhere? Julia says thank you. That's okay. Julia Karan says she's going to check her natal chart on Google. Yes, Carol and Julia, you could both find out that on Google. Just put in your astrology chart details. If you need to come back to any of us, we'll tell you where your moon is, and it would be Cafe Astrology would help you out there, or even some of the others out there. But yes. Fabulous. What an engaging, lovely morning, and always exciting. Just let you guys know that we're talking about spiritual and psychic stuff here. If you're interested, Saturday morning, 4th of July here is the spiritual mediumship course. It's a 6-week level 1 online development course. If you're interested in that, get back to us, and be happy to talk to you about this. And it's also on the website, Facebook, and everywhere else. Okay. Julia Wilson, are you in Spain too? Yes, we are. We're in a lovely area called Tierlada and Javier. Whereabouts are you? It'd be lovely to catch up with you sometime. And okay, guys, we've come to the end. If you'd like a reader for next week's astrology show, it'd be fabulous to have you on. Just write in your name, your date of birth, and question, and a favourite colour. Colour is quite important, especially I work in psychically with this as well. So if you could do that, that'd be fabulous. But wish you guys a wonderful week. Guillermo, thank you so much for coming on, making such an engaging show. I know that both Deborah and I are going to laugh our heads off this morning about the Libra and the Capricorn bit, and I'm sure a few other people out there want to come in. On Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock Spain time, we've got the chat rooms, which you'll notice if you look out there on Facebook at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, especially on my page, Phil Griggs, trying to get it on Cafe Clairvoyance, but unfortunately Facebook hasn't got that ability at the moment. But if you look up for me, Phil Griggs, that you'll find a chat room, and we call Create Rooms. But any questions on that you want to come on, we do that. And yes, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Julia, you're yes, in Altea. You're just down the road. How nice. Yes. Okay. After all that, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You take care. Have a lovely week. Okay, bye. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a lovely morning, rest of the day. Thank you for all your lovely input there, and to go through all your comments there is going to be fantastic. But you guys take care. Have a lovely day.